The Lambda editor provides the user with special tools for working with matrices, based on the close interaction of the two access systems, linear and two-dimensional, or tabular. Linear access is convenient for small arrays, because it allows the entire object to be simultaneously examined on the Braille display. The table display is useful for working on more complex elements. The reading on the display will necessarily concern only one row at a time, but the user will still be able to grasp vertical relationships by scrolling through the various rows. The following example shows the linear and tabular representation of the same matrix. Inserting a matrix into the document is done in two steps. Insertion of structure, number of rows and number of columns. Insertion of cell contents. To insert the structure, choose Table and Matrix from the Insert menu, or via F5. The focus must be on a mathematical section of the document. A window appears asking you to enter the number of rows and the number of columns of the matrix. Enter in the rows and columns fields the number of rows and columns that make up the matrix. If the fields are not filled in, the matrix will have 3 rows and 3 columns. It is possible to later change the number of rows and columns in the matrix. Confirm by pressing the Confirm button or by pressing Enter. The structure of the matrix in linear form, which is as a succession of markers, is entered in the document. For example, if an array of 2 rows and 3 columns is defined, it appears as follows in the document. To insert content. After entering the matrix structure, it is possible to enter the cell contents in 2 ways. By writing directly into the linear structure inserted in the document, or by using the two-dimensional mode. To write in the linear structure. Once the linear structure of the matrix has been inserted into the document, the focus is on the matrix start marker. The cell in row 1 and column 1 of the matrix is then located to the right of the focus cell. If you wish to enter the contents of this cell, simply press the right arrow key once. If you prefer to fill the cells of the matrix in a different order, simply move with the right arrow or left arrow keys within the linear structure. Exploration is facilitated by the presence of end-of-column and end-of-row markers, which appear on the Braille display and are read by the speech synthesizer. Type the contents of the cell. All the usual Lambda editor commands can be used when typing. To use the two-dimensional mode. Once the linear structure of the matrix has been entered, select View two-dimensional element from the menu, or press the F10 key to enter two-dimensional mode. A window appears consisting of number of rows and columns in the matrix, menu bar, matrix cells arranged in 2 dimensions and separated by the end-of-column marker. The focus is placed on the cell in the first row and first column of the matrix. Other cells can be reached with the arrow keys, or the cursor routing keys of the Braille display. Exploration is facilitated by the presence of the end-of-column marker, which can be easily located on the Braille display, and by the voice reading of the current position of the focus in the matrix. Move the focus to the cell in which you want to write. Type the contents of the cell. The insertion of the mathematical expression into the cell can be carried out using all the insertion commands of the Lambda editor, shortcut keys, list of elements, and the insert menu on the menu bar. Note that when any symbol is inserted into a cell, the other cells are aligned correctly so that the correct two-dimensional arrangement is never lost. This is particularly important for the Braille display user, who can thus explore the two-dimensional structure using the Shift keys. This helps to quickly understand the mutual relationships between cells, thus facilitating the identification of regularities in the matrix, or the performance of particular operations, for example calculation of the determinant. If necessary, change the contents of cells by selecting Copy and Paste. In two-dimensional mode, it is possible to select groups of adjacent cells by means of Shift plus arrow underscore keys. It is then possible to copy and paste them with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. To leave two-dimensional mode and return to the document, press the Escape key. The focus is placed on the matrix start marker.